This is a random question. Who does payroll? Mindy. Okay. I will try her extension. Is she in? Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Kadeem.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Good. It looks like you're headed in for surgery. I'm used to seeing you with the mask.
Here we go. Can't infect you guys if, I'm looking at you through a screen.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, true. We don't know yet. Let's see. New dwelling, 18 Canterbury. All right, let me get us recording. We are recording. This is up. This is up. Share screen.
Hello.
Oh, everyone there?
Hi, Kadeem.
Hello.
I have some questions for you about my
I got your message.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. So if I do have to leave, I'll just keep the meeting running. You can drive and I will just end it when I come back.
Great.
Thanks, Rob.
Hopefully we'll get it done. I'll keep that in mind.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I have to leave too, so I hope we're done.
Okay. I see Clement, Angus. Hi, there's Chip. There's Caroline.
Planning and land use services.
Great. Well, it's 11. I'm going to start the preamble.
Let's do it.
Yep, just hold on a moment.
Okay. As a preliminary matter, this is Rob Benchley. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond. Caroline Ellis.
Yes.
Thank you. Mary Lathrop, I think she's en route. Angus McLeod. Here. Clement Durkee.
Here.
And Rob Benchley is here. This is the open meeting of the Sconset Advisory Board being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, for the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement for open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials of this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public will follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Sconset Advisory Board is convening by video conference via the Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. And please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. Now we're turning to the first item of the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for the effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate public meeting minutes. I'll introduce each speaker on the agenda after they conclude the remarks. I'll go down the list of line members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until I yield the floor to you and state your name before speaking. Members wish to engage in conversation with other members, please do so through the chair. After members have spoken, the chair will afford a public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged and speak through the chair. Each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. And with that, I'll take a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Angus. All those in favor, Caroline,
Yes, yes.
Clement Durkee,
Yes,
okay, Rob is a yes, and the ayes have it. So we're going to item number 1, is that correct? 18 Canterbury Lane for a new dwelling.
Good morning, everyone. This is Chip Webster. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Chip, I can hear you fine, thank you.
I hope everyone had a relaxing and enjoyable weekend. This is an application for a new dwelling on Canterbury Lane. If we would, maybe we can go back to the locus for a second. You can see this is, it's a lot on the western side of Canterbury, and it backs up against the Coast Guard property. So the visibility on this lot would be limited to Canterbury, which would obviously be the front elevation and then sort of some tangential views down the sides of it. So if we go to the plot plan, please. So the idea here is that it's a pretty simple form that is it's very low. We're very excited about this project. 3 simple rectangular masses that are connected with 1-story elements. And everything is 1 story except the main mass, which is proposed for 1.5 stories. So if we go to the front elevation here, you can see on the bottom is the front elevation facing Canterbury. The main mass is to the right. It's pretty straightforward. It's a 1.5 story mass, center entry with a front porch. On the left side is a 1-story mass, and then there's a connecting glassed-in porch element connecting those 2 pieces. So that's what you would see from Canterbury. The upper portion is the north side, which you would get sort of, like a tangential view of that a little bit. And you can see if you look back at the front elevation all the way to the right, where it's sort of a lighter color, you would see that 3rd mass off in the distance towards the back of the lot. So now we can walk around to the other elevations. This upper elevation is the south elevation. That right-hand side is the 1-story element that you would see sort of the side of from Canterbury. On the left side of the drawing is the face of that piece that is set off to the north. So that would be, you wouldn't see all of it. That's set back a distance from there. And then on the bottom, we have the rear elevation, which of course is not visible at all. So maybe going back, so those are the 4 elevations. If we go back to the front, up 1 sheet, again, that lower right is our proposed street elevation. So thank you. I turn over to the board for comments. Rob, I think you're muted. I think everyone's muted, actually.
There we go. Yeah, thanks, Chip.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. And Angus, since your names begin with A, do you have any comments?
At first glance, I like the general massing and the scale of this. I'm concerned about the amount of glazing, and for a lot of it, it won't be visible because it will be on the back side or obstructed by the sides.
You froze, Angus, at least for me.
I'm curious what the material is for the chimney. It looks like prairie style rectangular block. So that's a concern. My biggest concern is with the facade. The scale of the doors and windows all look right with each other. But the scale is unusually large. The front door is 3'8" by 8 feet high. And the connector between the 2-story part and the 1-story part has a glazed connector, which I thought has been discouraged for a long time. And it's the facade of the house. So that's particularly concerning to me. Those are my primary concerns.
Great. Thank you. Sorry, Caroline, any thoughts?
Just the glazing toward the front of the house. I just think that could be handled between the two masses. When I looked at that was the thing that caught my eye. I love the fact that it's low. How about 1.5 stories? That's wonderful, I think.
Yeah.
I do question the chimney. It doesn't seem as if it's high enough. But obviously the builder knows better. Chip, as a designer, would know much better. And the back, all that glazing on the back doesn't really bother me.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Clement?
I agree. The chimney looks a little stubby, but I thought it looked nice. I like it. It is small. It's small. It's nice. A good scale.
Great, thank you. And yeah, Rob feels the same way, that the glazing is a little much on that link between the two masses, and the chimney too. Maybe there's more explanation on that, but overall, it looks nice. So
I might, through the chair, if it's okay, I might add one piece to the comments. So interestingly, everyone agreed on the chimney. And since we've made this submission, the chimney has now changed to a gas unit that on the inside, so it won't even require the chimney more. So that is going to be removed. So that will remove, I think, concerns associated with it, because we don't even have any more. So I just wanted to mention that. So thank you.
well, thanks, Chip. Well, that took care of that item. So I think the SAB is in agreement that some of the glazing is a little overpowering in some of those items. Go Angus.
Rob, I'd just like to add with the glaze on the front, if French doors, so French doors are also discouraged on the front of the house, and this is not set back, it's not one of those perspectives where it's 40 feet back, but you still have to show it in elevation, but it's, I don't know, 6 or maybe 8 feet back from the front. And I think your eye is going to be drawn, to the center of the structure, which is where the glass is, and so much glass. So I feel like that should be more like the same scale windows that are maybe flanking the doors, rather than floor to eave glazing. So preferably not doors at all. I don't know if that's a necessary access coming and going from there. On the backside, Chip, are those windows that face the pool? If you were to go right through the facade, through the glass there and out the back, or are those windows facing the pool?
Those, I think what you're asking is particular to the connecting link. Is that correct?
That's right.
That's right. So yeah, so the idea is that it's, which is, I think, a common element. We have a porch or a connecting link that is then glassed in. So it does have glass on the both sides, if that's what we're asking. And I appreciate all the comments of the board. And I think what we can do is make that read more as it's intended, as a sort of, it was an open element that was then later glassed in response to your comments. David.
Yeah, I almost thought, well, oh, maybe the deal is people drive up and they walk through this to the back to the pool without going through the kitchen or the bedroom or some other thing. But I see that there's maybe a drop off on the back side of it that cuts down to the basement level. Is that correct? So
That's
it's
correct.
up. So without there being like this cross through circulation there, I think that's even more reason to have something that reads more as 3 windows rather than 3 sets of French doors. And I think that would then draw your eye back to the front door and the main mass.
This is Caroline. It would still create a lovely sun porch.
Yeah,
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think there's potential for tons of light there, but those doors right now are each 6 feet by 8 feet approximately. So that's pretty huge for just the light.
great. Thank you, Angus. Any final thoughts from anybody? I invite you to speak up if you like. And so I think, Kadeem, does what we said make sense to pass this on to our master board?
It does indeed. And actually, these ones won't be up to the board for quite some time, possibly a week, if not more. So Holly will actually have watched this, taken your notes, incorporated her own notes to share with the board.
That's terrific. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
All right,
Thanks, Chip.
Chip. Thanks, Chip. Thanks, everybody. Okay, great. Moving on to last week's agenda, which here's this week's. Item number 2, 31 Low Beach for a new dwelling.
Morning.
And is that Lisa who's here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi,
Oh,
it's
great.
Lisa. How are you?
Great, good, thank you. Yeah, this is it down in back of the house. We saw the window changes for the that 1800s house on 31.
Yeah, love that house.
Yeah, great. Lisa, proceed if you care to.
Okay, this is just an application for a new dwelling behind the house you were just referring to. It's set pretty far back from the house or from the existing structure. And I'm not sure there's anything specific that I need to address until I
Okay.
hear your comments.
Great. Great. Okay. Angus.
This is what happens. Why you do last names?
Okay. Next time I'll do last names.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start. I think in general, it's a good design. My concern with this is that it feels like they're 2 front doors. They're 2 entries. It looks like there's competition between left and right, south elevation. And then before really going deeper, I was happy that there was a photo included of the existing dwelling on the property. and just making sense of the two of them together. If this were built as proposed, it's reading as though the guest house is out in front of the main house, which I think is discouraged. That there should be sort of the main house and then the garage and the guest house and the other buildings behind or beside or something. So I think it's a little confusing to have this existing house out front and then this in the back. But then the next piece was, well, how are these houses relating to each other? And there's a strong hip element with almost a pyramid roof of the existing dwelling. And I think what might help integrate this with that is maybe not to do full hips, but maybe hipped gables. So at the window header height, hipping the gables. So that it sort of blends in a little bit better and takes away some of that triangular mass. I don't think anything's lost with the volume inside. And also to mitigate the two entry conflict, I would extend that front porch all the way across from one side to the other if the goal is to have porches on both sides. And maybe move that, change the door in the secondary mass to a window and have the door come from I think it's a bedroom in between the two masses from the side. So there really isn't confusion about where to go. And I think that the window in that connector, I think it's a stair. And so a window could go above the porch and below the porch to get light into the whole stairwell. Yeah, other than that, I like the semi-glassed in porch that mimics the front older dwelling. And the rest of it seems fine to me.
Great, thank you. Let's see. Caroline.
My only comment was that, as we had before, was that secondary, which I think Angus really addressed well. It's a nice house. I just think that side is confusing, and those are great recommendations. It's a pretty house, and I love the romantic old glassed-in porches. Very nice.
Great, terrific. Clement.
Well, it does seem to me that it reads as two houses, except that the fenestration is done the same way, which is great. And I'm just delighted that they're not trying to demolish the older house in front and not trying to move it. Just leave it right there and build this, which I think is a very attractive house. So I approve.
Great, thank you. Yeah, this is Rob. Yeah, I agree with the comments made, and especially the sort of, I won't use the word duplex, but I guess it spilled out of my mouth. Anyway, yeah, it's nice, and it's got a similar flavor to the front house, and I do like the idea of maybe a hip here or there or two, if that's possible.
The
Lisa,
garage back, yes.
Oh yeah, with the garage back, right?
Yes.
Lisa, would you like to respond, or?
No, I think they're all good comments. I appreciate your thought. I understand the confusion with the two porches and the two doors, and we'll see if we can address that. So I appreciate
Terrific. Great, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Great, Lisa, thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, everybody.
So I don't see anyone from Workshop APD here. They are, oh.
Nope, I am. Hi,
unless-
sorry.
Oh, Irina, perfect, okay. Forget what I said.
That's
Hi,
okay.
I'm Irina, yep.
Hi, Irina.
Hi. So we're here with 9 Canterbury. It's 3 applications, one for a main house, a garage studio, and for a shed. So I guess starting with the main house, probably. This property is located at the corner of Fleetwing and Canterbury. If you want to scroll down to the cover sheet, you can see the property site there right at the corner of Fleetwing and Canterbury. The majority of the structure is facing Fleetwing, so the smaller side would be faced towards Canterbury. The structure features additive massing, a large front porch, and is a similar style to a house we previously represented here.
Great, thank you. This is Rob. I'm just having a little hard time bringing it up. Oh, there we go. All right, well, alphabetically then, Clement. Any thoughts?
No. I did not look at this before. So, I'm just looking at it. So that is the facade that faces Fleetwing.
Correct, the top.
And I guess more importantly would be the facade that faces Canterbury. Is that the one on the bottom, the shorter?
No, that would be on the next page. If you would switch. It's the bottom elevation, the west
It's the
elevation
bottom
there.
one. Uh-huh.
West, okay.
Well, we've had a short chimney. We've got a very large chimney.
Yeah,
And I've seen nothing to comment on because you're just going to see the front facade and you're going to see this facade right there. And there is we've got another pool and we've got the whole panoply of garage and everything. But I don't know, the house looks fine to me.
great. All right, thank you. Caroline.
Alice, yes, second. I didn't have any comments because I think it's really going to be buffered. I don't think you'll really see much of it.
Great. Angus McLeod.
Once I got oriented, it all made sense. It's almost like the address should be Fleetwing instead of Canterbury. But once I got oriented, it all made sense. I think in general, we need to remember that dormers in the guidelines are not meant to dominate a roof. And both of these take up a considerable amount of the roof. I like the stepping to break up the mass a little bit. If I were to do anything, I would step the dormers back a little bit, front and back, so that the farthest projection is 2 feet from the eave. I think it helps on the front or north elevation to have that porch roof that sort of buffers it. But when you see it from from Canterbury and the gable end, you can see, how those volumes of the dormer really push the envelope. That would be my only comment. I think it's a good looking building that will fit in there nicely. Thank you.
Thanks, Angus. Angus, this is Rob. Let me ask you a question. When you say back, effectively on an elevation, that would mean that sill line would be higher on the roof?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now it appears that there may be a foot back from the first story mass. So
Yeah.
maybe I believe the guidelines are 2 feet, 2 feet on the from the eave and 3 feet from the gable. But that's sort of the minimum distance back from things, but that doesn't mean that you go 3 feet from one gable to 3 feet from the other gable. Anyway, that's all.
Okay, great. Thank you. Have I left anybody out? Oh, myself. Yeah, this is a nice looking design. Irina, I just can't see it great, but the front door, is that a batten door?
Yes, it is a clad door.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And the windows and doors here are Quaker gray with natural trim.
Wow, nice.
I would like to add, Rob,
Yeah.
to the chimney comment. I think code is 3 feet above the ridge. So once you get much above that, it starts to stretch. I sincerely appreciate and concealing what is probably a direct vent gas contraption within the mass of the chimney, so it doesn't have that ugly thing sticking up above the chimney. And I would give a concession to the chimney being taller to discreetly conceal that if that's the intention. Otherwise, I would bring the chimney down a foot.
Great. Okay, Angus, thank you for that addition. Irina, any comments you'd like to make?
No, thank you for all your thoughts though.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming again, and
No problem. We still have 2 more applications though.
yep.
Right, the pool and the pool house.
Yeah, the garage is up now, garage/pool house perhaps.
Yeah, so this is a garage studio. So again, we used additive massing, a small studio above the larger garage side. And again, it would have Quaker gray sash, natural trim, and natural garage doors.
All right. Clement, any initial reactions?
I was waiting for the, is one of those garage doors fake, or are they both garages? Or are they
They're both
apartments?
operable.
They're both
One
operable.
is set back further from the face though.
Okay, but it's not going to be living space. The living space is all upstairs.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I have no complaints.
Great. Caroline Ellis?
No, I don't think it will be seen. It looks a little bit like Florida with a golf cart, but other than that, I don't think you see it.
Well, I think it might be in the front of the house, Caroline.
Well, I've given up, you know.
Yeah.
What am I going to say? You're going to have to walk around the car to go to this $1 million house, but you know,
Yeah, you're right.
nobody seems to care. So,
Yeah.
I mean, even the way it's shown drawn, you know, you
Yeah.
walk around the car. I just don't understand it. But it belongs behind the house.
Yeah. Noted. Angus?
In general, I'm fine with this. The only comment I would say is that, and this is really only because this is probably the closest structure to the corner of Sleetwing and Canterbury, as the height of the porch over the side door or the south door. I think it's at a height that it feels like it's sort of floating out on the wall, especially with only posts below it. I think it would be better integrated if it dropped so that the eave was about the height of the door, and maybe even think about an extension of the west wall up to that corner post, and then leave it open for the east and south. but just sort of integrating it a little bit more in the building. It's too big for just like a floating awning, but it's not integrated enough to be like, you know, a porch roof.
Great. All right, thank you. Sorry, it's Rob, just trying to figure out his mouse here. Yeah, I agree with the that little porch seems to be a little high, but other than that, and the fact that it's blocking the house, the trend. But any other thoughts from anybody? And Irina,
Mhm.
would you care to?
Nope, no other comments from me, but thank you for your thoughts.
Great. Okay, thank you. And now we'll go to the shed.
Yep, very simple shed, just located at the back of the property, very low visibility.
But isn't it a pool? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's a shed intended for potential kind of seating area by the pool, but no, utilities out there. It's just a very simple structure, mostly to be used for winter storage of outdoor furniture.
Good. Mr. Chairman, could I ask where the
Please.
pool
Yep.
equipment is? I looked carefully at the plan. I cannot find the pool equipment.
Yep,
The
I don't
mold.
think it is noted there, but it would be behind the shed.
Toward
And quick
toward a
note, we
neighbor?
Go
sorry,
ahead, Kadeem.
yep, we did receive the pool application for this property, so this will be in front of you at some point.
Mhm.
It's not coming up at this meeting necessarily, but we did get that application, so it might be marked on that plan as well.
Yep, it should be noted on that one.
Okay, great. So we'll see the pool at another time.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask Rob, if there's a generator, where does that show? And is there a generator? Just in general, I'm asking, do we require that?
I think that's yeah, I would say generators are certainly part of. Irina, do you have any knowledge of a proposed generator or anything, or?
No, I don't know at the moment if there is a generator to be noted. I don't believe there is, though.
And then the hardscaping for the house would be part of the pool application, because I see a lot of.
Correct.
but-
Mirka Ahern will be submitting all of the landscaping, hardscaping, and
Okay.
pool in her application.
Great, because I see a lot of flagstone. All right. Anybody else? Great, okay.
Oh,
Irina,
Rob,
thank you. Yep,
it's Angus. I just wanted to say, I think it's a cute building. The only thing I would do is lower it a little bit. Maybe less of a roof pitch, maybe a lower eave, but the design I think is cute. Simple.
got you. So lower the pitch a little bit.
And the eave. Maybe
Yeah.
so it can come down a foot or two overall.
Great. All right, thank you. All right, everybody. That takes care of that. Thank you, Irina. Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to 6 Hedgerow.
I don't see anyone from Sam Rothke's office here, but we do have the application if you guys want to give it a look. If you guys would prefer to hold off, that's obviously something we can do as well.
I think we should look at it. We have time, and it might bring up some interesting items. So it's an open meeting. for this, so let's talk about it.
Just tell me what you want to see and I will get it for you.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was confusing. I had to, it's hard for me to
Yeah,
see.
you know, I guess it would be great to have Steve here because this looks pretty extensive.
Okay. Well, this one does not appear on the agenda for, it's pretty far down on the agenda. So we definitely have time. I can obviously just put it on to next week's if you guys would prefer that. And we can just let Sam know that we'd like to have him here. Or sorry, Steve, know that we'd like to have him here.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
Kadeem, I think that's a great idea. How does everybody feel about that, putting this off for representation? Go ahead,
Well,
Mark.
my only thought about that is if we had comments, he might be able to respond to them. Maybe.
Yeah.
Is that possible, Kadeem?
Yep, absolutely.
If we made comments that he would be able to maybe throw up some different proposals, because just this facade, the way it exists now, not the proposed, but the way the building is now unchanged. Yeah, there are things that would be discouraged, the subtractive massing and, different things with the massing. But the proposed changes, I feel like, make it worse. The facade becomes chaotic. There's one of every kind of dormer. There are 4 dormers and each one is different from the other and they all face the facade. The front gable dominates the roof, but then offsets the center that it now exists. And so I think it wants to get better than it is existing now, and I think this proposal makes it worse. So I don't know, Rob, if does it make sense for us to make our comments now and see if a different proposal shows up or some options, or let it go a week till Steve could join?
I think that I think the more information we can disperse sooner instead of holding things up, I think that may be a good idea. And, we have time to do that. You've already mentioned some things. For the longest time, I couldn't tell what it was being changed from, but then I saw the as-built in a smaller scale next to it. So,
the photographs are useful too at the end.
yeah.
Excuse me, this is Clement. I need the as-built. I can't follow
Does
the
this help out?
changes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, thank you, Kadeem. Because I was looking at all the red stuff and I couldn't tell what was being changed.
See how there was.
Go ahead, Angus.
There was a higher narrow gable off to the right side on that front elevation. There was a strong symmetry that sort of signaled, oh, this is the center of the house and this is the entry, and it all sort of makes sense. And then the flanking dormers that were the same size but on different roof masses sort of made sense of it. But then it just, that off center largest gable just throws things, and then the little gable next to it, and then it's, yeah. And then floating balconies have been discouraged for decades, and right now there's a solid wall with an open railing above it, and the proposed is to get rid of that and then just have not just a floating deck, but then a floating stair, which is really discouraged. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going on. You guys have at it.
Thank you, Angus. Yeah, this is Rob. The exterior stairway caught my eye first, and I mean, I can't tell what it's for really, but I didn't think that we liked that kind of treatment very much, and of course that main central part of the house, breaking it up into a papa dormer and a little baby dormer. I don't know. I don't get it. Let's see. Anybody else? Clement?
No, I really haven't focused since I didn't
Okay.
see the existing. I wasn't tracking.
Okay, great.
And this one, I guess, is the back that has the open instead of the closed second floor balcony. They've opened it up.
Correct. I've gone on to the next page.
Yeah. I don't know if that looks better or worse.
Yeah. Is that? Yeah. Oh, I see.
The blue is removal, Rob? Is that right? The blue is to be removed? I just can't see well enough. I can't read it,
Yeah.
Colin.
Yeah, the blue says eliminate chimney, and then
And,
here it doesn't actually say.
right.
Oh, replace all existing, open new windows. No.
Oh, so they're taking the chimney out and replacing, putting those French doors where the chimney, was it an exterior chimney? Oh, wait, no, it's an
No.
interior. Sorry.
So it's in the pickup box.
Looks like they took the fan light over the French doors out,
Thank you.
and
That's
they
good.
took a tiny little four
Yeah.
pane window and made it bigger.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's kind of the blue.
Yeah.
And why they opened up that staircase, I don't know if it used to be a staircase and it was closed in, or they made it a staircase.
I think that's where they added that porch. Right? That was solid, I think, where the little hand is.
Yeah, well, it's solid, but then it looks like there's a porch on top of that. So they
Right.
it looks like they made the porch bigger and added the stairs down and opened it up underneath.
Yeah,
But
I mean, taking away the fan window is fine. Get rid of
wonderful.
that.
That's a plus.
But
Where Kadeem was just circling underneath the deck is where there's a concealed stair now.
Oh.
Is that's what that is?
If you look in the photographs, you can look through that door that faces the street, and you can see what's going on there. It's maybe a little ways down.
Oh, I see. Okay. It shows a door. Oh, I see. Okay.
Maybe number 25. You see in the little window to the right of the door, the stair.
Yeah.
oh, right.
So there's a doorway. It's an entryway with storage or something.
One, maybe stairs that go down, but that are just tighter stairs.
Yeah, so they're concealed from the balcony.
Yeah. And then the shed next to it.
Right.
And the shed is slated to go away.
Right.
Yeah.
And the equipment, electric or whatever that machine is, the condenser. I love the lawn chairs. Isn't that pretty?
Keep the lawn chairs.
Yeah.
Save the money on the rest of it.
Right. Oh, I'd love that shed.
Was so, well, it's just, so they're enclosing that open railing on the porches,
I don't
or
think
they're
so.
opening up the closed, I can't, I'm sorry, I'm very confused.
I think-
this is right. Yeah, this is Rob. Thank you. That's the page there, Kadeem. And so they're gonna take away the semi-enclosed thing under the deck that's on the left side of that
Oh, and open it up.
elevation and just open it up.
Okay, so there would be two open decks instead of one closed, one open.
Okay. So do we think we have enough to start a conversation with Steve?
I don't think that it's visible, but the
It is.
symmetry that existed on the back center section of the structure with the doors in the middle and the flanking windows, I think works better than again, shifting that whole symmetry off to one side with the quadruple French doors. I think those should be centered.
And they look, this is Rob, they look like sliding.
Yep.
Sliding doors. But that is on the back, am I correct? On the south elevation, yeah. But I agree with Angus that the front is
Is a mistake.
more of a, yes, the way Carolyn put it.
Yeah, I think so. And you can see the front. It is not that you can't see it. You can see it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, any other comments for now? And Kadeem, I think it'd be great to have Steve come join us.
Okay, so I'll keep this one on the agenda. I'll let Steve know where to start listening to so that he can get the last 10 minutes on, to digest. And then, yeah, we'll have this back up for next week.
Thank you.
Of course.
Great. All right, excellent.
One last thing is, I think it's always sad when a house loses its chimney. It seems like it's losing its heat, and it dates a house when there's no chimney, because it means there wasn't any heat in it. That's the only thing.
Yeah. So keep the chimney.
I don't know. I don't like fake things. If you don't need a chimney, you shouldn't have a chimney.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the floating staircase is a little distracting. So
Yeah, I think that could be. Yeah. It's a nice house.
Great. All right, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Holly's not here to give us an update on Resilient Nantucket. And Caroline, what's your latest on the Marconi sign? I know we talked about it last week and you thought it was doing pretty well, but then you sent me something and unfortunately it got sucked up into the ether. Any more thoughts on it? I mean, except we had said last week it would be great to keep it visible.
Yeah, well, it's more visible this week than it was last week.
Okay.
And I just think it should be outside their fence. It isn't, as far as I know, their property. I don't think the NHA gave it to that property. I can't find out because I can't get any more information. I perhaps could go to James, but I know they're struggling now with fewer hours and fewer staff, etc. I'd rather just keep it on, and then when things perk up, I'd love to know the answer to why it's on their property and not outside the fence. So if we could keep it, I'd appreciate that.
Yep, I can
Okay.
keep that on the agenda. That's easy.
Yeah, yeah, because Ralph is really stretched. They're all stretched.
Great. Thank you, Caroline. Maybe they could just put it on the town property.
Well, that's what I think would be but I'm sure that's complicated, but anyway. 2 feet and I'd be really happy.
Midnight sign moval.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Where are those guys?
I think they're down on the islands. They'll be back.
Okay.
All right. I'll take a motion to approve the comments.
So
that we've
moved.
made. Thank you very much. All those in favor. Let's see. Clement,
I,
Angus.
Can,
Thank
Rob,
you.
can I make a motion to hold the approval till we see them?
Sure, but explain what, oh, I see what you're saying.
On hedgerow?
Well, we just don't have the comments in front of us.
Gotcha. All right.
Kadeem, you said that Holly was going to watch this and then write the notes. Can we
Yeah,
approve
so
the notes
when-
after she does that?
Yeah, so I believe that would be totally fine. So when these items come before the board, Holly will be able to, share what was said today. So yeah, she will be reviewing them at some point. So I think holding the comments would be fine.
Okay, Kadeem, thank you for that. I didn't know that was an option. Thank you, Angus. All right, so motion's been made to hold the comments for approval. I guess we need to vote on that. All those in favor of Angus's motion, please say aye. Caroline?
Yes.
Thank you. Angus made the motion. I guess that's a yes. Clement?
yes.
All right, and Rob is a yes. Thank you. So I'll take a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
So moved.
Great, thank you. All those in favor, Caroline?
Yes.
All right, Angus?
Aye.
Clement?
Yes.
Rob is a yes. All right, everybody. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kadeem.
Safe
Thank you,
travels,
guys.
Clement.
Thanks, Kadeem. Thanks, Rob.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Have
Take
a
care.
good time, Clement. Yeah,
Thank you. I'll be
Yeah.
back next week.
I
Safe
know.
travels.